What led to the Biafran War? What happened and how did it start? Sit back, relax. Let me tell you the story. After Nigeria gained independence in 1960, everything seems to be going fine until 1966. That same year, 2 military coups happened. Nigeria witnessed the first military coup on the 15th of January 1966, and it was recorded as the bloodiest military coup. A lot of bloodshed happened that day, which led to the death of prominent Nigerians, including the then Prime Minister, Tafawa Balewa. Many politicians were also killed. Many army officers plus their wives were all murdered in cold blood. The innocence of this new country was stained with blood after just 6 years of regaining freedom from Great Britain. This event gave birth to division in Nigeria. Why? The person who led this coup was actually an Igbo man, Major General Eziogu, and majority of his men were also Igbos. What makes it more suspicious is that most of the people that were murdered that period were Northerners. The Northerners came to a conclusion that this was an Igbo military coup, even though some Igbo officers in the north joined forces with others to stop the coup. They still concluded that this was an Igbo military coup. Tension began to rise in the north, but when the coup plotters were captured, the tension doused and everyone went about their normal businesses, hoping that the new head of state, General Aguiyi Ironsi, will bring the coup plotters to book. But as time goes on, no information was heard as to when those coup plotters will be tried, and then the matter began to die down. Barely 6 months later, another military coup was staged around July that same year. And this time around, the coup was led by some soldiers in the north. This was like a revenge coup, which unfortunately led to the death of General Aguiyi Ironsi. He was killed near a forest at a place called Lalupon in Ibadan, alongside Colonel Adekunle Fajuye, who was a military governor as at the time in Ibadan. After this event, a northern Christian, Lieutenant Colonel Yakubu Gowon, was made the new head of state to succeed the late Ironsi. Not long after Gowon took over, there was an open violence against the Igbos in the north, as the Easterners were being killed and chased out of the north. Their shops were being looted and burned down. It happened to an extent that dead bodies were being transported from the north to the east for burial. The north became a dangerous place not only for the Easterners, but also for the Southerners because they were not spared. While this was going on, the security agency were just watching, not doing anything about it. Although at some point, Gowon made a broadcast calling for calm in the north, but yet the killings did not stop. But while this was going on, General Chukwuemeka Ojukwu was of the Nigerian army as at the time. After seeing all that was going on against his people, he began to call on the government of Gowon to end the massacre. And then, the military government of Ghana, led by General Ankara, was worried about the situation in Nigeria and scared that this situation might lead to a dangerous war. As a military officer himself, he was close to both Ojukwu and Gowon. General Ankara decided to call for dialogue between Ojukwu and Gowon, which both parties honored the invitation at Aburi in Ghana. After some argument with back and forth, some agreement was made, which up to today, no one could clearly state what the agreement was. But after the meeting, upon returning to Nigeria, Gowon broke the agreement and divided Nigeria into smaller regions, which gave birth to the first 12 states in Nigeria. According to Ojukwu, Gowon went back on his words on what was agreed at Aburi in Ghana. Both of them kept accusing each other of breaking the agreement. As this was going on, the possibility of civil war began to arise. All attempts from international bodies, plus some African leaders, and even including Martin Luther King, to make peace were all in vain. And then something happened that finally led to the war. On the 30th of May 19, Ojukwu declared the whole eastern region as an independent state of Biafra. This did not go well with the government of Gowon, who labeled it as treasonable act. This act led to the preparation of war between the Igbos and the Nigerian government.
Our people here have for a long time been prepared for this eventuality, and I am confident of their readiness.
The Nigerian government got serious when they noticed some weapons being imported into the country by the Biafran soldiers. According to Obasanjo in his book titled My Command, he said the Nigerian army actually fired the first shot, and then the Biafran soldiers responded. That was how the war started. This war lasted from 1967 to 1970. I do not want to talk about what really happened during the war. I'm a very emotional person. If I start talking about it, I won't be able to make this video. A lot actually happened during the war. The only thing you will know is that this war actually led to the death of over 2 million innocent citizens. Until today, Nigeria is still feeling the impact of this war. I hope and pray that such things don't happen in our beautiful country again. God bless Nigeria. Tomorrow in my next video, I'll be sharing with you another interesting story. So stay tuned. See you then.